Good evening, everyone. Hope all is well. Hope everyone's having a good week. I had the last 2 weeks have been very hectic. Not only am I an athletic director at high school, I'm also dean of students. So last 2 weeks was graduation, end of school. So it's been hectic, crazy for me, but it's finally done. So now I'm just ready to dive in for these last two and a third week that's left in this summer session. I'm looking forward to it. But this week's readings have been very interesting, very interesting. And I'm very familiar with Title IX and the governance of the NCAA, having played Division I football for a few years and also coaching at the Division I level, coaching at the community college level, and dealing with Title IX along with the governance of the NCAA. I know Title IX came out in 1972. I was 4 years old at that time, but it didn't seem like Title IX really took off until the mid 80s when all these universities tried to make these cuts uh, from male programs to female programs, which I have no problem with. I think is great. The only issue I have with Title IX and the governance of it is that the government wants you to cut the male program to be equal with the female programs. Great. Everyone should be honored. But at the same time, why would you cut a program that's making money to bring in 9 times out of 10 the female programs don't make or generate any income, any finances for their program. So those programs are covered via student fees. If it's a big time football school, that the football program covers those smaller programs. If I was an AD, what I would do is I would get with my fellow ADs and try to fight the NCAA and the legislature and say, hey, we're going to have Title IX. It's great, but you fund it and let us keep our sports. We'll keep adding more female sports for the young ladies, but keep the male sports that's making money. It's unfortunate that in America, female sports don't make as much money as male sports. Now, there are some basketball programs, female basketball programs, like your Connecticut's, your Notre Dame's, your Texas A&M, and even LSU for a period of time that generate money from some female sports, and especially basketball. I'm very close to the USC women's water polo team. I know the head coach very well, and I've seen them win national championships, and it goes unnoticed. I go to their games because I happen to like water polo. I go to their games, and they don't charge admissions. Even the national championships or even the playoffs, they charge no admission. So, that's unfortunate for the female sport. But my whole take is that I would just love to see the legislature and NCAA keep Title IX, never do away with it, add as many female sports as possible, but you fund it. They fund it. So everyone can be happy and let the male sports that are generating money help the female sports so we can all work together and be happy. As for the governance of the NCAA, they have so many rules that hurt so many kids that come from unfortunate backgrounds that may not have money. They may play a sport, but the sport can't help them, or the school can't help them because it's against NCAA rules. I could talk for the next 10, 15 minutes because I've seen athletes and I've been at a university coaching that was hit with NCAA ban for things that, yes, in the real world, they will not get penalized for, but in the world of the NCAA, everything, just about everything is wrong. But I know it's rules. We have to have them, and most schools need to, if not all schools, need to abide by all those rules. and I'm for it. But I just think that the NCAA don't look at each case as a case by case basis. They just go by whatever is in the rule book and not look at it from a human perspective. I'm thinking in the future that your power conferences, the SEC, Pac 12, Big 10, Big 12, ACC, Big East, will probably eventually move away from the NCAA and start their own thing, which has been taught for quite some time. Because the NCAA makes billions of dollars. Some of the schools make billions of dollars. Just take the SEC and the school that we're all attending now. LSU is one of the top schools for generating income from the athletic side. They could probably afford to start their own conference and make just as much or even more money. So I'm looking forward to that transition because I think that the NCAA is very unfair with some of their unethical practices towards colleges and universities. But that's all I have, everyone. Hopefully this is helpful. Please give me some feedback because I can talk for days, as I said. Have a good evening.